we're now on to week 4, and I wanted to spend a few minutes walking through the task of creating a 2 to 3 column layout. So the first thing that I want to do, let's say I'm a student and I'm doing this assignment, is design my web page in Paint, perhaps. You can do it on paper, it's totally up to you. And this isn't a requirement, I just feel that if I was doing this assignment, it would help me. So the first thing I want is my nav bar. This could be a div, could be anything. So let's say we have a nav bar, then here on the left, I have my left content, because I'm going to create a 2 column layout. I have my right content, and then I have my bottom content, which could be my copyright or anything. It's totally up to you. Or, you don't need to do a web page like this. This is just one of many potential ways to do it. So this will be my left content, this box here, and then this box here will be my right content. So we've got our web page design. Now let's jump into the task of creating the HTML for this, and then we'll do the CSS. All right, so the first thing I want is my navigation bar. And then I want perhaps a div for my top content. I'm going to do everything in divs. I love divs. Divs are great containers that are block elements. And then I'll create another div for my right content. And my last div will be the bottom content. So that's basically all I have to do for my HTML to create a multi-column layout. I still have to apply my CSS rules, but this is basically all the HTML that I need to make this happen. When I'm debugging my HTML, one of the things that I like doing is to display a border around my elements. So here I just added a rule to put a 1 pixel solid black border around my elements. Alright, so now let's set the background color for these 4 boxes to help debug it a little bit. So I'm going to create a rule, top content, just a red background. And I'll apply that to my top box. And I'm using IDs. So that means in this web page, I can only use top content once because it's an ID. If it was a class, I could use it multiple times. So now we have our left content, which will be yellow. Now let's do our right content, which will be blue. And then the last one is our bottom content, and let's make that green. All right, so now we have a really very cool, colorful web page. All right, we're ready to make the website, break the website into columns. And let's read the sentence. Apply a width percentage to scale the columns as the page is resized. So when the page increases, the columns increase. When the page decreases in width, the width of the columns decreases. So that's what we want to do. So let's go back to our site, and here's our left content and our right content. So I'm going to change the width. It could say width colon 100 pixels. So that's 100 pixels wide. And I could say width colon 200 pixels. All right, but that's not what I want to do, because if I increase the width or decrease the width, the size of these, the width of these divs remain the same. So instead of a predefined hard-coded width, I'm going to use a percent. So let's make this 38% width of the page, and then let's make this 62% width of the page. All right, so now this yellow takes up 38% width of the page, and then the blue takes up 62% width of the page. But there's a problem. We have the yellow box on top of the blue box, and we want the blue box next to the yellow box. That's our 2-column layout. how we accomplish that is through float. Here's a really good website, csstricks.com, all about floats. It talks about how to do floats. So what they're doing, you can think of float. So think of a div as a box. We've got these helium balloons that are tied to the box. And when these helium balloons are tied to the box, it breaks out of its normal flow and just floats in space until you position it where you want. So that's my interpretation of floats. But if you want to get more technical about it, I would recommend this page. So here's exactly what we're doing, the example that they're doing. So they're taking a sidebar, floating it to the left, and the main content, they're floating it to the right. So that's what we want to do. So let's go back to our page, and all we have to do is say float left, and then float right. And then, I know it doesn't look right yet, so be patient with me. And then we need to clear left. Okay, there's a problem here, and let me see if I can explain it correctly. The width needs to be less than or equal to 100% for this yellow box and the blue box to be on the same line. But if you look here, we zoom in, you'll notice there's a small extra gap here. So it's actually coming out to be more than 100%. And the reason why is because of this line. We're adding a border around our boxes. So we actually have an extra 2 pixels. So what I could do, since I really don't need this border anymore, so I'm going to get rid of it since we have our color. And now, voila, it fixed. You know, there's some problems here with the green, but let's say clear. Okay, so I actually added the border back, and I want to explain what's going on. So you see, we have, and I changed the width. I changed the left to 38% and the right to 60, so you can kind of see what's going on. The green box is actually behind the yellow and the blue box, which is not what we want. We want the green box to be on its new line, like after the blue box. So we do that by using clear. So we need to clear that left float. And now we have the green box on its own line. And that's it. That's a 2-column layout. So when you submit your homework, and when you create your website, I want you to be creative. Don't do exactly what I have here. The class is all about learning. It's not copying what I'm showing in the video. It's not the purpose of the video. So, you know, like, don't use top content. Don't use left content. Don't use these ID names. Be creative. Create your own. Perhaps create 3 columns instead of 2. And, you know, I chose a random width of 38% just because I wanted to be different. So, you know, don't use 38%. Perhaps use 50 or something like that. And you don't have to use these background colors. So what I'm showing you here is just to help you out with the assignment. I don't want to see what I have here in this video submitted as your assignment. So that's it. Have fun, and if there's anything else that you need help with, just let me know and you can post it to this forum.